Although the oldest alcohol containers were clay pots from circa 9000 BCE, humanity's relationship with alcohol is much, much older. Today we're pulling out the time machines and going back millions of years to examine how humans evolved their knack for alcohol. Hello beer nerds, this is Beer by the Numbers. There are many reasons why we humans drink beer. After all, alcohol is tasty and makes us feel good. But that doesn't really explain how our brains and bodies evolved to process alcohol in the first place. Fortunately, scientists have a pretty good working theory, the drunken monkey hypothesis. Besides being a hilarious name for evolutionary theory, the drunken monkey hypothesis is actually quite simple. Sugars in fruits, grains, and nectar are naturally turned into ethanol by yeast through fermentation. Since our ancestors about 10 million years ago survived mostly on fruit, being able to process the light amounts of alcohol in slightly fermented fruit meant that our ancestors could eat fruits that were a little overripe. So not only were our ancestors able to eat fruit that was less than optimal, but alcohol also has the added bonus of stimulating one's appetite a bit. This encouraged our ancestors to eat more fruit while the gettin' was good. When fruits rot, they can contain up to 8% alcohol, but most palatable, slightly too ripe fruit contained about 1% alcohol by volume. So how much ripe cane fruit would you have to eat in order to get drunk? Well, to reach the legal US limit of 0.08 BAC, you would have to consume 10 pounds of cane fruit in an hour. Needless to say, our ancestors weren't consuming that much alcohol, which is probably why even though we can process alcohol, when we consume it in excess, we experience many negative side effects. If we look at the human genome, we find the earliest enzyme capable of processing alcohol in our digestive tract is one called ADH4, and scientists believe that the gene that creates it was developed around 10 million years ago, about the time when our ancestors left the trees and moved to the forest floor. Because the fruit on the forest floor was more likely to be exposed to fermenting yeast, this seems to confirm the drunken monkey hypothesis. So how does all this gene research benefit the modern drinker? Well, many scientists are using this genetic link to try and help those with alcoholism. And just like many food sciences, genes are playing an increasingly important role in creating custom tastes that can appeal to consumers right down to their very building blocks. So there you have it, beer nerds. Thanks to our ancient ancestors, we now have the ability to enjoy a lovely mug of beer today. If you like this video and want to see this channel grow and evolve, give it a thumbs up below. And let me know in the comment section if you have any suggestions for topics to cover in future videos. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button either, you drunken monkey. Stay curious, beer nerds, and as Henry Lawson once said, beer makes you feel the way you ought to feel without beer.